BarryFastCars channel. Barry is the person talking to you. I'm the person I'm talking. Alright, and still doing Formula 1 rookies. It's that time, you know. We gotta do the last one. And arguably the most successful. Actually, I don't think it's arguable at all. Of this crop of rookies coming into the sport, Jolyon Palmer is a standout, that's for sure. Jolyon Palmer, he's 25 years old. He's actually probably one of the oldest rookies in recent history to come into the sport, which is good. He has experience. He knows what's going down, and he spent a year with Lotus as a test reserve driver. Spent some time in the the simulator that they have, and he understands kind of the ins and outs of a modern Formula 1 car, so that's super beneficial for him. Not to mention he's with the same team this year, more or less. It's technically Renault Sport F1 now, but it's the same Enstone-based team that Lotus was last year. So I didn't know, I guess it just didn't click with me, I'm just dumb, I suppose. But he's the son of Jonathan Palmer, the ex-Formula 1 driver. Duh. And so he's one of those, second generation drivers like Rosberg and Nelson Piquet. Alright, so starting with his open wheel career, if this is, I believe, correct, the beginning of his open wheel career outside of karting. He started in 2007 with Formula Palmer Audi. It's actually the series that his dad created. In partnership with Audi, they're the engine supplier. The opening season for him was 2007. He got 2 wins in his debut season. Not bad at all. He actually missed 2 races at the end of the season in his first season because he's like quadding or something on his property in Britain and like bailed hard and like fucked up his abs or something. I don't know the exact story, but yeah, he hurt himself. So he couldn't race the last two rounds of the season, which, bummer. But in 2008, went on a tear. In 2008, he finished 3rd in the championship. I believe he was leading it at one point. He did have 1 win at Spa, which is very interesting because you'll see comparatively in his future career, he tends to do really well on tight circuits. So to win at Spa shows that he has some depth, which is awesome. He got 11 podiums, so great. Second year in an open wheel, like Formula style race car, that's pretty solid. He's got some good genetics for racing, sounds like. In 2009, he went to Formula 2. Formula 2 in 2009 and 2010. And his best finish in his first season in 2009 was 6th. And he actually, let me see here. Okay, yeah. I don't know what he finished in the championship, but in 2010 he was actually, well, we'll get to that. He won the opening race at Silverstone in Formula 2, and he's actually the first British driver to do that because recently a lot of them went to GP2 or Formula 3, so there might not have been as many in Formula 2, but first Britain to win since his dad in 1983. Pretty ironic. And he actually finished 2nd in the championship. He won the opening race at Silverstone. Just solid performance for sure. So that obviously caught the attention of the people who matter in the next series up, I suppose, would be GP2, and that's where he ended up in 2011. He had a pretty solid 2011 going into a lot faster race car with a podium in his debut season. Not bad. And he wasn't fighting for the championship per se, but it is what it is. In 2012, he switched over. I forget what his 2011 team was, but in 2012, he moved over to iSport, and he was actually teammates with Marcus Ericsson, who's driving for Sauber, as many of us know. And he actually had like a lot of electrical issues and shit going on, like chassis issues for the first like 3 or 4 rounds of the season, so it kind of screwed him over. But once he got a new chassis, I think before Monaco, it could have been at Spain, but I think it was at Monaco. and it was probably for Spain, if I'm not mistaken. And he got sixth at Monaco. So like once he got the new chassis, once the car was actually working correctly, he did very well. Taking a sixth place at Monaco, and he actually there's 2 races in a GP2 weekend, and he actually won the sprint race the next day. So that's pretty rad. He kind of faltered, and the beginning of the season screwed him over. So he ended up in 2012 11th in the championship. And so for 2013, he moved over to Carlin, which is another pretty big GP2 team, squad, if you will. His teammate was Felipe Nasr, who is also driving for Sauber. Pretty cool how that works out, right? His first win was in Hungary. If you haven't watched this race, check it out. It's on YouTube for sure. Maybe I could even link it in the description. I'll try to do that. It's fantastic. GP2 is just great. GP2 is almost what Formula 1 should be in some form or another. Formula 1 should be a faster version of GP2 in some respects, but that's another video. So his first one was in Hungary, which is like right before the summer break, so that's like late July. And then he got in Singapore, once everyone's back, at Singapore he got fastest lap, pole, and the win at Singapore. Yeah. And I'm still blanking on what the hell that's called. What is wrong with me? I cannot believe I don't remember this. I use it regularly. We hear about it because Hamilton always gets him. The pole, the fastest lap, and the race win. Killing myself. Put it in the comments. Can someone help me? And he ended 2013 7th in the championship. Moving on up. 11th to 7th. All right. And in 2014, the year of the Palmer, he's moved over to Dam's racing squad. And in his first race, boom, out the box, pole position. Boom, and he gets he ends up with a podium. I think that was 3rd. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you care. He got the podium. He won the Monaco Grand Prix. Yep. So Bahrain, and then he wins at Bahrain, and he wins Monaco, and then they go to Hungary, and in the first race, he under scrutineering, he didn't have enough fuel, so he was sent to the back of the grid, mobbed his way up to 8th place. Racecraft, boys, racecraft, and got to 8th place, and then in GP2 they reversed the grid, so he got pole and won the sprint race the next day. And then he also won at, I want to say Monza. Yeah. Well, long story short, he won at Sochi, Russia, and wins the championship. So he is a GP2 champion, 2014. What? Brilliant. So we have a serious contender for a brilliant driver. Hopefully he hasn't lost anything in his year off. That's pretty tough having a year off. But, he did okay in preseason testing. Let's see what this Renault Sport Formula 1 car can pull off. The Lotus chassis wasn't that bad last year. They had the Benz motor. That obviously compensates a little bit for anything lacking aerodynamically. But they had no money. Like, no money to make anything happen. And Roman Grosjean got a freaking podium at Spa, so pretty solid. It's a great base to start with, and Renault's coming in and just going on a hiring spree. They're going to hire like 150 new employees, I think. Maybe more. Maybe it's like 200. Maybe it's more than that. Wow. Because Enstone was like bare minimum of what they need to get by. And so that's great. Renault comes and saves the day. Hopefully they can pull off some power unit, I wouldn't say miracles, if they can just do what Ferrari did last year. If they can be competitive with a 2015 spec Ferrari motor, they should be pretty solid for this season as a starting point, really. So we'll see. Jolyon Palmer. I can't wait to see him race more. I didn't follow him in GP2 too much, but I've been watching a lot of videos, and I'm really impressed with his skills. And just a cool guy overall. I mean, you see any interviews with him, he's just a chill lad. So I'm excited for this. The race is is this weekend. It's this Friday. Season beginning. Woo! Woo! Well, that's that. That's Jolyon Palmer. We'll see. How long does it take him to become F1 world champion? Dun dun dun. We'll see. Alright guys, like it if you like it, and share it if someone else is interested in some history on Jolyon, or anything else I have on this channel. Alright guys, see you in the next one.